Get my last cigarette. I'ma treat you right. Get my last cigarette. I'ma treat you right. Get my last cigarette. I'ma treat you right.
Hope it don't end the
Get my last
same
cigarette.
way. About to start another day.
I'ma treat you
I'm
right.
a freedom,
Get my last cigarette.
about to start another day. Hope it don't end the same way. About to start another day. Hope it don't end the same way. About to start another day.
I'ma treat you right.
I'm a freedom,
Get my last cigarette.
about to start another day.
I'ma treat you right.
I'm a freedom,
Get my last cigarette.
about to start another day.
I'ma treat you right. Get my last cigarette. 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 I'ma treat you right.
Hope it don't end the
Get my last
same
cigarette.
way. About to start another day.
I'ma treat you right.
I'm a freedom,
Get my last cigarette.
about to start another day. Hope it don't end the same way. About to start another day. Hope it don't end the same way. About to start another day.
I'ma treat you right.
I'm a freedom,
Get my last cigarette.
about to start another day.
I'ma treat you right.
I'm a freedom,
Get my last cigarette.
about to start another day.
I'ma treat you right. Get my last cigarette. 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 I'ma treat you right.
Hope it don't end the
Get my last
same
cigarette.
way. About to start another day.
I'ma treat you
I'm
right.
a freedom,
Get my last cigarette.
about to start another day. Hope it don't end the same way. About to start another day. Hope it don't end the same way. About to start another day.
I'ma treat you
I'm
right.
a freedom,
Get my last cigarette.
about to start another day.
I'ma treat you right.
I'm a freedom,
Get my last cigarette.
about to start another day.
I'ma treat you right. Get my last cigarette. 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 I'ma treat you right.
Hope it don't end the
Get my last
same
cigarette.
way.
Hey,
Start another
hey,
I'ma treat you right.
hey, what's going on? I am back and we are black.
about to start
Hey, I'm your boy, Warren G, in the place to be. Been clowning sucker free since 2003. You already know that shit. This is the No I Don't Know TV series, podcast, whatever the fuck you want to call it, cause no, I don't know, nigga. And shout out to all you motherfuckers that be like, shit, I know. Guilty, nigga. You don't know. Stop.
about to start another
Hey. What is going on? Hey, shout out to all my niggas that's out there hustling and figuring out what you gonna do from day to day, going on the corporate plantation and dealing with all the bullshit, drama, and stress. So shout out to y'all. Shout out to
Last cigarette.
all my people that are fighting this anti-black racist war that's going on. We've been fighting it since what, the 1600s when they enslaved us. Hey. Hey, shout out to everybody that's handling business on the corporate plantation, like I said, and fighting that good fight. Hey,
don't end the same way.
hey, and shout out to all you finessing ass motherfuckers. Tasha, what's going on? I see you finally got the alert on time. You know this shit be tripping. Hey, shout out to all you motherfuckers that's finessing. I mean, I'm talking about the niggas, like I say every week, that will sit around the house, not go to work, not try to go to work, and then when you get off work, be like, hey, my nigga, what you doing tonight? Man, I'm tired, man. Tired, got off work. Shit, what you trying to do? Shit, I'm trying to go out and kick it. Nigga, I'm tired. Man, why you tired, man? Because I was at work all day. What you was doing? Shit, I was just chilling. Nigga, well, I was at work all day, so I ain't got the luxury to sit around the house and with my thumb up my ass and smelling it. So shout out to all you dumb motherfuckers that ain't got shit else going on but finesse. Hey. And shout out to all you motherfuckers that's out here that understand that this is chemical warfare. Hey. As well as mental warfare, physical warfare. This is the racial cleansing is what I want to call it, with all these black people being killed with impunity. Shout out to all my people that's out there that's like, you know what, fuck the police, defund them, and let's restructure it and do it the way the people see fit. And not no police reform, basically moving the same racist cops around, changing their job titles, and not doing nothing else. So shout out to all you motherfuckers that's really going at their necks, and not the motherfuckers that's going with the okie doke, so you can get a little pat on the head, a little bit of cracker and crumbs. Stop. Shout out to motherfuckers that ain't with the Hansel and Gretel crumbs and shit. I want the whole motherfucking pie. Stop it. Shout out to all my motherfuckers that's fighting for reparations. Hey. I'm glad they there. I'm glad we here. Shout out to all my people that's out there sharing that knowledge. Each one teach 21. Hey. And shout out to all my motherfuckers out here that think the COVID shit don't exist. Motherfuckers just at pool parties and just kicking it, not understanding what the fuck is really going on. So shout out to y'all. Hey. Shout out to my motherfuckers that's out here paying real bills and shit. That goes inside with motherfuckers sitting around the house all day. Normally them motherfuckers don't work and they ain't got no real bills to pay. So shout out to the real motherfuckers that gotta get their ass up, go to the court plantation, deal with the anti-black racism every fucking day. So shout out to them, because the shit is not easy. Shout out to all my white fragilists and white fragility motherfuckers that act like when you bring up racism, they be like, I don't see color. Shout out to y'all too, motherfuckers, because y'all do exist. Hey, go check that book out, Robin DiAngelo, White Fragility. Hey, go check out Post-Traumatic Slave Syndrome by Dr. Joy DeGroot. She was on Nick Cannon's class today. Very, very good podcast. Go check that out. Hey, shout out to all you motherfuckers that's like, man, shit, we gotta get Trump out of there, man. Shit, fuck it, man. Joe Biden ain't gonna play that. Shout out to all you motherfuckers that still think Obama's for black folk. Let me stop, man. That's some funny ass shit. I need to stop. So shout out to y'all that think that Obama's really gonna, you know, he gonna put he gonna put Joe Biden in there and then shit really gonna change. Stop. So shout out to you dumbass motherfuckers. And shout out to the young motherfuckers that's like, hey man, we gotta vote, man. Vote for what? So shout out to all you suck ass niggas that's out here telling some nigga to go vote. And I'm tired of niggas talking about, well, if you don't vote, you don't need to complain. Nigga, get the fuck out of here. Do you know what vote means? Stop. But that's okay. Cause sometimes we just gotta educate our people, even when they don't want to be educated. You know, that's the only thing. We gotta educate them even when they don't want to get educated. So shout out to them. Hey. Shout out to all the people that's out there with the small businesses that's trying to make it do what it do. So shout out to all my black small businesses. Shout out to them. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my non-black businesses that support black people. They're out there. Some of them out there. I haven't found them yet. So shout out to them too. But more shout out to my black businesses. I know it's a dying, trying time right now. But man, I'm trying to look for every black business I can and support them as much as I can. Shout out to blackandnoble.com. That's why CMOS. Yay. I try to drink that at least 3 times a week. Hey. So shout out to all y'all people that support black businesses. Hey. 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 Man. You see, it's a lot of shit going on right now, man, but I'm about to get right into it. Oh, yeah, I'm about to get right into it. DeSean Jackson and the apology. Oh, man. Remember I was telling y'all about the $40 million slave? Well, that's a $40 million slave. So on Twitter, I'm going to post, I'll take $40 million slave for 300, Alex. Because that's what it is. Y'all need to start looking at these athletes just like you. I don't care how much money they got. They are controlled by the dominant society, just like the people at the corporate plantation. They're just their corporate plantation, they get to have a little bit more fun. That's all it is. But that's exactly what it is. That's the definition of it. That's why if you look at the picture I posted, oh, I'm sorry. What did it say? I'm sorry. Look, let me look it up. Because I was laughing when I put the shit up there, too. Hold on, let me see. That motherfucker said, hold on, let me see. Hold on, let me see. That shit had me rolling. That motherfucker said, it said, I'm sorry. Wait, what I say? I'm sorry. I'm sorry for speaking about racism. Hey, I couldn't even finish the thing and I was trying not to laugh. I'm like, man, I feel bad. But if you read the title, read the little captions in there. I'm sorry, bounce about racism. I was supposed to say nothing else. Oh, man, what's going on, Wendy? I see you. Hey, on a 15-minute break at the Court Plantation, turning in. Hey, I know how I go at the Court Plantation, man. I know how I go. Let me tell y'all something. I'm about to get on it right now because apparently DeSean Jackson posted some shit on Instagram, and I want y'all to go check it out on Instagram. I did a little bit of research, and basically he was just quoting some shit from the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Not only did he do it, Chelsea Handler retweeted some shit and quoted it, and then they gave her so much backlash because she's a part of the Jewish community. But if you go watch that documentary on Chelsea Handler that she did about racism and white supremacy, she was rooted and grounded in black everything. She was pregnant by a black man that don't nobody even know about and lived with a black family. And then her Jewish white father took her from that situation, made her get an abortion, and know you're gonna live this way. But deep down inside, she know. And that's why they had her dating all these white. That's what they do. They don't want them type of people commingling with us. No, they want you working for them, but they don't want you commingling with them. And what DeSean Jackson did was, when he started saying things and quoting things like the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, oh, he's anti-Semitic. Now, when you look up anti-Semitic, when you look up Semite in the etymology dictionary, it says you could be an Arab. You can be an Arab. If you look up the definition of Arab means wanderer. So that could be any of us. That's one. That's what a real, and if you think of an Arab, when you think of a turban, you better think of a Moor. Don't let them bastardize what an Arab, what the real origins of that shit is. That's Moor all over it. They just took the black away and gave you Osama bin Laden, some hook-nosed Caucasian, and that's what they got people thinking. Oh, well, that's what it is. No, the turban, Islam, that all stimulates from the Moors. Stop it. Stop. See, we got to start looking at the etymology of a lot of this shit. And that's what they don't want. See, because they want you in the etymology dictionary, and just to let you know, so I ain't just running my mouth, nigga, I got an actual etymology dictionary. Fuck out of here. Better go cop you one. And in that dictionary, it says also a descendant of Shem. Shem translates to, if you look it up, Shem translates basically to El, God. Like Kal-El, which is Superman's name, Hebrew, son of Jarel. Yeah, it goes that deep. And I don't know everything, but I know that from reading this book, Sex Symbols and Stars, and talks about how they worship the planet of Saturn and Hebrew names like El. And that's why when y'all watch Superman, Yeah, but see, they painted him white, but Superman gets his power from the sun. If you go watch it and go read the comic books. But that's a whole nother thing. I'm just saying, you notice how they got him. Now you got to walk back your statements. Because they don't want nobody being associated with the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. At all. At all. And I'm waiting for somebody. First of all, he could have easily said, I don't feel comfortable with y'all doing because that is my personal preference and that is my religion. And that is my religious belief. But since we're not educated, because you got to treat the internet, that's a job. That's a job. So if it's a job and it's my religious belief, then guess what? That's my religious belief. Sorry. I'm sorry. You don't hear them talking shit about worshiping Satan and Anton LaVey? That's a religion too. What if he was a voodoo priestess? So he can't worship voodoo, he can't practice voodoo? See, that's how they get you, because of lack of education. I would have been like, well, this is my religious belief. And church and state is separate, and since I work here and this is my religious belief, okay, maybe I won't retweet it, but I meant everything I said because that's my religious belief. But a lot of times, niggas don't want to stand on that shit, but they be so frustrated about anti-black racism. They'll put it out there. Like, for an example, I believe that DeSean Jackson believes everything that he fucking posted on Instagram. Y'all go look it up. Go look up DeSean Jackson. I believe he meant everything he said. Why wouldn't he? I'm about to play something. Let's see if, I'm about to play something. And let's see if they talking about it. A lot of times it be some bullshit. So I'm about to see what they talking about. Make sure there ain't no goddamn commercials and shit. Because this ain't no goddamn NBC. But nah, because, some of the things that he said, and I'm going to get into what he read. It's just like reading The Secret Relationship Between Jews and Blacks. And we're going to get on them in a minute. We're going to definitely get on them in a minute. But right now, I want to see what they're talking about and see what they're going to say. Because they're going to vilify him and tear him down. And it's like Ice Cube. So let's see what they got to say. Okay. Oh, they talking about the team name. Redskins launch review of team name. I don't give a fuck about that shit. Let's see what they talking about. Let me cut this off. Let's see what they talking, because they're talking about some bullshit. Fuck that. Well, I'm not playing that.
That news sparking this reaction from Super Bowl champ Burgess Owens, and it reads, quote, "There is no black national anthem. Why does it feel like the country is trying to segregate again sometimes?" Here to talk about this is former NFL player Merrill Hobb.
Oh, yeah, see, they talking about some bullshit. Nah. You're not finna do that. I don't give a fuck about no black national anthem. Fuck that. Nice try. Now, just looking at what he posted, because, they trying to hide this shit now. Like, you can't find it nowhere. Hold on. Oh, here's the apology. But I don't care about the apology. Let's see what he say. I want to see what he say, because that's his Instagram. Let's see what he say.
What's going on? I've been getting a lot of backlash and feedback from an Instagram post that I put on my Instagram story. I just want to, first off, extend an apology on the behalf of me and what I stand for, because.
And that's what happens. That's why they are just like us at the corporate plantation. So don't exalt these black athletes and celebrities because they bounce to the same drum that we bounce to. Boss, Massa. So when they had a nerve to turn their nose, LeBron included, all of them, when they try to turn their nose because they got more money, but nigga, you can't even say what you want to say. You just like me. You just have more choices. That's all for now. But you're just like me because you can't say what you want and you can't do what you want. Not really. So you're a slave just like I am. But they got us black folk thinking that somehow, some way, these niggas are different from us niggas. No, you're not. Because if you were different, you would be able to be like, well, that's how I feel. And that's what. The only person that's different from us is Ice Cube, because he said what he wanted and he stood on it. Have y'all heard Ice Cube come out and apologize? No, y'all have not. Shout out to Cube. That's a real nigga right there. He been that way forever. No, he ain't coming out and apologizing. But guess what? That nigga is. If you want to keep playing, that's why you know caption. You notice I said I'll just shut up and run the football because that's exactly how they see you.
You know, I'm one that's fair, and I never want to put any race down or any people down. And you know, my post was definitely not intended for anybody of any race to feel any type of way, especially the Jewish community. When I posted what I posted,
You notice see, but nobody focuses on this book right here. Since we want to give them, the Jewish community, nobody focuses on this book. Go get this book, The Secret Relationship Between Jews and Blacks. You better try to find it somewhere and go get it. And let's see how much apologizing you'll be doing. As a motherfucker trying to say I'm anti-Semitic, they played a major role in the transatlantic slave trade. Matter of fact, just look at the NBA today. The Clippers owner, Donald Sterling, called us all types of niggas and all this other shit. And I give them their lifestyles, all this other shit, right? What did the NBA do? They sold the team to another dominant society, white, Jewish owner. They didn't sell it to no black people. So if you care that much about black folk, then why didn't you sell it to a black person? Why didn't you go find a black person? No, you did it right in front of our faces. We're going to take the team from him. Yeah, but you took the team and gave him, what, $880 million or damn near $1 billion? So he didn't leave. You didn't take the team and he didn't win any money. Stop. That's just what you publicized. Then you took it and sold it to another Caucasian Jewish person. That's why when you think of Jews, you don't think of black folk, you think of Caucasians. Because they have took our knowledge, remixed it. Oh, well, you guys are not the chosen ones, we are. So if we want to go Bible, let's just go Bible. If we go Bible, the King James Version, how do these stories take place in fucking Egypt and the children of Israel were walking around when white people can't go nowhere without sunscreen? So you tell me thousands of years ago when there was no fucking sunscreen, how were white people surviving in Egypt? How were they? How? Just tell me how with no sunscreen. They'd be fucking burning the fuck up just like they do now. So I don't even believe that shit, first of all. Second of all, look at how cold and gangster they are. Oh, you will apologize. Now he's discredited. Now you can't say shit about racism because you don't talk shit about us. Well, you know what? I stand with Farrakhan and anybody else, they should. That's your religious belief. That's your religious belief. I don't see them going after nobody else's religious belief. But they want to go after his religious belief because he shares something in common with someone else. And all he did was take a quote of what somebody else said, which was Hitler, and how Hitler was talking about, how the Jewish community, they know that the black people are the chosen race and all. I'm going to look it up, but that's basically what it was.
I definitely didn't mean it to the extent that you guys took it. And I just wanted to let you guys know that I'm, very apologetic, and I just want you guys to understand that it never was intended to be, to put any race down or any religion down. I post things on my story all the time, and, I just probably shouldn't have never.
First of all, Hitler did experiments on black folk as well. So stop it, Jewish community. And what they say, y'all told it was 5 million? Well, they can't even give us a total because in the transatlantic slave trade, it was so many niggas jumping off the boat and niggas dying before they got here. They don't even know what the number is. It could have been in tens of millions of fucking people, black folks dying. So stop. But of course, since the Jewish community runs everything, the international bankers, they just happen to be Jewish. They just happen to be Jewish. You know what I mean? And that's fine. Y'all can run it, but why is it when we call out every other racial group, it's a problem? And really, Jew is not a race. That's a religion. They turned it into a race. That's a religion. That's like saying being black is a religion. They turned it into a race. You know what I'm saying? That's what they did. But if you're the chosen one and you're from Israel and all that, man, stop. If y'all here, y'all been here so long and all this other stuff, then why was y'all all going to ancient Kemet to learn the liberal arts? Why is it documented history that y'all got it from black folk? If y'all the chosen one, then y'all should already have all the knowledge. Stop.
Posted anything that Hitler did because Hitler was a bad person, and I know that. And, I was just trying to uplift you know, African Americans and slavery and, you know, just in life.
See, he don't even know what he babbling. I'm just trying to uplift African Americans in slavery. What? See, somebody made him go on there and apologize, just like they made Drew Brees apologize. Now guess what? Now they're gonna focus on that nigga and zone in on him, and then everybody. Now watch, it's gonna be more killings, and then now they're gonna be like, well, look at what DeSean Jackson said, the deflection. Why would he say that? You know, why? Oh, he's anti-Semitic. Man, stop. Anti-Semitic means anti-black. Why would he be anti-black? If the original Jewish people were black folk, then why would it be him? We are the original man. We are the Asiatic man. Y'all better go read the Fall of America by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Y'all better go listen to one of his speeches. And then go, man, and look, stop it with the bullshit. See, that's what happens. Motherfucker, you know, you're on your high horse and then you post something, now you got to walk it back. He would just been better off not saying shit at all. Just be like the other athletes and don't say shit. Because when you do that, it diminishes our argument. And then you look weak in front of the dominant society. You know why? Because your bills, like most of us, are predicated towards them. So you might as well just don't say nothing at all. Be a social activist when you are out of the NFL. You no longer need their money. You no longer need them. And you have built your platform in such a way where you ain't got to be worried about them taking no money. But when you embedded with them, you got to choose your battles wisely.
And my people. So on behalf of myself, I just want to let you guys know I apologize. I didn't intend, you know, any harm or any hatred towards any people. I'm for one. I'm for love, and I extend it every day. People that know me know I have no hatred in my heart, and I never try to, you know, put another religion down to uplift my religion or my race. So, you know, from the bottom of my heart, I just want you guys to understand that, and it's coming from me and my feelings. And you know, I just hopefully everybody respects my platform, my opinion, to try to just enlighten my people and just let everybody know that there's no hatred involved. So I hope you guys understand that and realize.
Basically, he's apologizing to his bosses and the Jewish community and the people that run the money. That's basically what it is. But I'm telling y'all right now, y'all got to know y'all history, know what's going on. Don't let these people trick you. Let these people trick you and have you, oh, I'm sorry. Sorry for what? And then the reason why they're able to get us in such henpecked positions, and the reason why they was able to, you know, get us in that position, because we don't know our history. DeSean Jackson is a football player for the Eagles. Yeah, that's who he is. My bad, Josh. I see. Who is DeSean Jackson? Look, this is where he's from. He's from L.A., if I'm not mistaken. DeSean Jackson is from L.A. Because let me break down a little bit of history. They tried to link him with 6-0 Crip and say he was a gangbanger and all that other shit. Oh, they tried to link him with that, and then he had to go and apologize and put his glasses on and do a news conference, and I'm not a gangbanger. Now, oh, man, they done made him denounce a whole bunch of shit. So I don't even know why he would do that, but I get it, because you're frustrated and you feel like that's what it is. But nah, man. You got to understand that I can't find the post. All I see is the fucking apology. That's all I see. Wait, here it go right here. It says, Hitler said because the white Jews knows that the Negroes are the real children of Israel, and to keep Americans secret, the Jews will blackmail America. They will extort America. Their plan for world domination won't work if the Negro know who they were. The white citizens of America will be terrified to know that all this time they've been mistreated and discriminated and lynching of the children of Israel. And I guess he got that DeSean Jackson post a quote from Hitler. So, what does that tell you? Why would Hitler say that? You tell me why Hitler would say that. And see, him saying that doesn't mean that he's for the black folk, because he was doing experiments on us too. He did the experiments on us before he got them Jews and did that to them. But people don't know that. But I'll tell you this. What Hitler said, I think there's facts to it. And I'll tell you like this. I would like somebody to tell me why is the Federal Reserve owned by the wealthiest families, which just happen to be Jewish, the Rothschilds. So you mean to tell me that they're not Jewish? They claim to be Jewish, but they were funding both sides of the war. If you know history, they were funding both sides of the war. Yep. It's so funny how Henry Ford was funding the war himself, building the tanks. Coca-Cola was giving the Nazis their Coca-Cola. Why are they still allowed to be traded on the stock market? Let me tell you something, man. They just pick out certain motherfuckers that they want to go at, which just happen to be black folk. That's why you can't buy the secret relationship between Jews and blacks. And you notice how they want to destroy Farrakhan by all costs. But nobody has read any of his books. And if Farrakhan is such a liar and he's such this and that, then prove us wrong what he's saying. The only thing that the white dominant society can say about what Farrakhan says is he's anti-Semitic. But how though? Tell me. All he's doing is calling out history. In this book, history. That's all it's calling out. So I don't understand why we are not reading. If you love Farrakhan, read the fucking books, my niggas. So when they try to catch you up like that, you can be like, well, why not? Did you read this book? These are the books that I read. Give me a book that I should read that is defending this book, The Secret Relationship Between Jews and Blacks. So you're trying to tell me that the Jewish community didn't have no hand or no part or did not participate in anti-black racism? Matter of fact, they participate in anti-black racism right now. Why does everybody try to separate that community from the dominant society? It's a dominant society. They're part of that group too. Look at the NBA. Like I said, how could I call niggas a whole bunch of niggas? Man, please. Stop. Then you make sure I get my money and then you go and sell it to another white Jewish man. But y'all mean to tell me y'all don't practice anti-black racism? Why is there only one black owner in the NBA? Why is there no owners in the NFL? Stop it. I'm not saying all these NFL owners are Jews. I'm not saying that because they're not. And I'm not saying that all the NBA is Jews, but the person that just happened to start the NBA was Jewish, and that's David Stern, who was a lawyer. And let's just keep this in perspective. It isn't like black folks have the best relationship with the Jewish community on the East Coast. They don't. Just like we don't have the best relationship with a lot of other racial groups. So why is it that particular dominant society group? Because it's basically like a big ass pizza, right? And the whole pizza is racist. So we're gonna look at the whole pizza, and then they're part of it. They want to make it seem like their part of the pizza of the pie is so minute. Like, no, man, stop. Y'all look, man. So you mean to tell me all that shit in that secret relationship between Jews and blacks is just fake, phony? Yeah, as you guys watch The Housewives bitches, Andy Cohen. Oh, you don't think that that's not a Jewish last name? And Bravo is a Jewish name as well, which just happens to be Bravo TV. Go get this book. I'll tell you again. You better go get it. You saw the Don Lemon and Terry Crews interview clip, and I couldn't help myself from laughing and singing, "Mammy, Mammy." Matter of fact, I might play that again. Let me go play that shit again. You know, yeah, that's what I'm about to do. I'm about to play this shit again. Where is this shit at so I can play his fucking babble? Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Cause man, come on, man. But I'll tell you this, it's gonna be a lot of people doing that. It's gonna be a lot of people. You see, Cube was the only motherfucker that didn't walk back his statement. Everybody else did. I'm telling you, Cube was the only one here. I'm looking that shit up. I'm about to look this shit up. Okay, cool. Okay, so let me turn this off, and then we gonna decode, DeSean Stevenson, because he wanted to apologize. So
what's going on? I've been getting a lot of backlash and feedback from an Instagram post that I put on my Instagram story. I just want to, first off, extend an apology on behalf of me, what I stand for, because I'm one that's fair, and I never want to put any race down or any people down. And my post was definitely not intended for anybody of any race to feel any type of way, especially the Jewish community. When I posted what I posted, I definitely didn't mean it to the extent that you guys took it. And I just want to let you guys know that very apologetic, and I just want you guys to understand that it never was intended to be, to put any race down or any religion down. I post things on my story all the time, and I just probably shouldn't have never posted anything that Hitler did, because Hitler was a bad person, I know that. And I was just trying to uplift African Americans, just enlighten our people. So on behalf of myself, I just want to let you guys know I apologize. I didn't intend, any harm or any hatred towards
let me stop. I can't take it no more. I can't take it. Oh man, let me stop that shit. Oh, that was funny. Oh man. Wait, Ice Cube said, "What your fucking mouth? I'm leaving." I had to play that shit. Let me tell y'all something, man. That's why it's get the etymology dictionary, get these books. Like I'm gonna tell you right now, just let y'all know, I just finished this book, Medici Money. Very, very good book. I like the book because at the end, he kind of basically told on other motherfuckers that was embellishing who they were and all that. Like at the very end, see, this is what white people do. And that's what I liked about it at the very end. Because at the very end, he said some cold, the writer, he said some cold shit. And the motherfucker was like, exercising power to which no one in Florence was constitutionally entitled. The Medici of the 15th century were obliged to great propagandists to present themselves as special, gifted, worthy. Perhaps this is one reason why there is such an extraordinary amount of literature about them. So basically, they just made themselves feel like they were, like guys, really they were just motherfucking Europeans running a fucking goddamn scam, basically fractional reserve banking at its finest. That's what they were doing. This was at the end of the book. Very, very good book. Very good book. And I think that's how we gotta look at things. When you see DeSean Jackson, the first thing you should think of is not just the Mammy song. You should be like, somebody should just be like, why did you even say anything, bro? Just don't even say nothing at all. Because you're doing that. It's just like Snoop when he was like, should I call her one? Everybody's like, yeah, call her one, dog head bitch. And then the next fucking day, hey, I just want to apologize, you feel me? Hey, because I just want to let y'all know, you know what I'm saying, I got a mom and shit, and you know what I'm saying, I talked to my, stop. Your mom didn't make you apologize by calling bitches they ain't shit but hoes and tricks. It ain't no fun. The niggas can't have none and fuck a bitch type shit. So stop it. Stop making it seem like that's what happened. See, we want to associate black folk with the dominant society when they're on TV. We think in our mind that they're in their own world. No, they are not. If they are on TV, they're in the dominant society's world. And don't you ever fucking forget it. So when a motherfucker gets it, like I said, Cube is the only one that didn't walk back his statements. You know why? Because Cube has put himself in such a position where, nigga, I don't need y'all to make my own shit and I do it independent. I ain't tripping. Fuck it, you want to take it away? But that's how I feel. And that's what I like about Cube. And let me just put this out here. The intelligent Jewish community, white folk, they know what the fuck we talking about. They just gonna be on code with their people because that's what it's about, being on code. That's always what it's about, and it's never going to change. So So don't ever think that these white folks gonna come out and be like, well, yeah, he's right. That's why Chelsea Handler came out. She's a part of the Jewish community and retweeted some shit that Farrakhan said and said, I agree. And then they made her walk back her statements. A lot of I'm pretty sure there's a lot of white people that agree with the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Black Hollywood are forced to sign a contract to not become controversial. Facts. I think that's in the NBA contracts too, where they can't donate to certain black people because we're known as black identity extremists. That's what the FBI came up with. Like I told you about that argument, this motherfucker was quoting all this FBI shit. I said, bro, you're quoting the same people who the director of the FBI for 40 years was a cross-dressing motherfucker who practiced anti-black racism at all costs. Stop. The FBI don't have no credibility. They want to go out there and fucking investigate a noose on a black NASCAR driver's door, a noose, but George Floyd got lynched on film where the FBI at. So that should tell you exactly how they feel. Stop it. Stop. FBI, man, motherfuckers act like it ain't no fucking KKK in the FBI. Stop. But a lot of times I think we feel like, oh, well, the FBI gonna get it up. Man, please, man. Y'all know that law enforcement was there. They were slave catchers. That's their original title. That's what they were. That's why the motherfuckers, man, please. Fuck just taking down the statues. Give us our motherfucking money, man. We need reparations, land, wealth, and resources. Because if you give us our own shit, then we ain't got to be bothered with y'all. And I think the dominant society, I think they know that. Just like white people understand how racism works, they know that it benefits them, and that's why they will never try to replace the system of racism, white supremacy, and establish a system of justice. Why? Because then they can't be in charge of you and tell you what to do and feel good about themselves by giving you crumbs. That's what they do. They do a Dutch Schultz. I suggest everybody go watch Hoodlum. Matter of fact, yes, they know. If you watch Hoodlum, this guy named Tim Roth, he's been in a movie with Pac too. Very, very good actor. He played Dutch Schultz, a Jew. And watch how he treated black folk. Because Hoodlum is based on true shit. That's documented history about Bumpy Johnson, Madame Queen, St. Clair, Lucky Luciano. That's all documented history. Documented history. And Dutch Schultz couldn't stand niggas. He didn't give a fuck about no niggas. As he said in that movie. White pennies, nigga pennies, it's all the same fucking money. I'll fucking take the nigga pennies too. They didn't give a fuck. They didn't give a fuck, man. Look, this is deep-rooted history. That's why every other racial group, in my personal opinion, is programmed. Look at how everybody jumped on Steven Jackson. I mean, not Steven Jackson, but DeSean Jackson. Matter of fact, speaking of Steve Jackson, a lot of motherfuckers was pissed off at him too because he was calling out white supremacy and racism and saying, look, I'm tired of fucking being an example. I'm tired of being a bigger person. Where the fuck y'all at? A lot of white people was not co-signing what he said because he said some real shit. See, when you start saying real shit, they're not gonna co-sign. That's a fact. What they're gonna do is they're gonna try to capitalize on vilifying you. And now DeSean Stevenson's gonna be the villain. That's it. It's a wrap. He would have been better off. I don't care how much you niggas play and apologize. Matter of fact, the dominant society is so cold, they made LeBron James apologize for reciting a lyric from a rap song mentioning the Jewish community in it. Oh, I'm about to get this Jewish money. Oh, gotta apologize. Not nothing defaming them. That's why on Twitter it was like, oh, you're anti-Semitic. I said, saying that the Jewish community is a part of the Atlantic slave trade and they participated in anti-black racism as well, and I got the book to prove it. Oh, that book is anti-Semitic. And that's just the same thing to me that the dominant society has been running with to counter-attack the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Nation of Islam. That's all. That's what I believe. That's just what I believe. That's what I see. Because if you notice, why is it the Jewish community, in my personal opinion, that AKA the dominant society as well, act like they're absolved of any wrongdoings to black folk? why is it they act like they're so absolved of it, but they don't mind you blaming everybody else, but then once you be like, hey man, well I got book and I got documentation that y'all was on some bullshit too, that's anti-Semitic. No. And then when you start quoting the white Jewish scholars where they got the information from, oh no, that's not true. Oh, so they're lying. So every white Jewish scholar that the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, the Nation of Islam that they quoted is all false. Stop. And that community just happens to be a part of the dominant society who runs the international banking system. So who's Mary M. Shell Rothschild then? Because he claimed to be Jewish. So who is he? It's so funny, you look on that dollar, it's got all African beliefs on that dollar, but you got a white man on there. If that ain't crooked, then what the fuck is? Who just happens to be a Mason and practice Freemasonry, which they got from the African ancient belief systems, the enlightened ones out of ancient Kemet. Stop, man. Stop. That's why I'd be like, it was a brother I was talking to today, and he was like, yeah, man, I got this book. You told me about this book. And I said, what book? He was like, yeah, I don't know if I told him about They Came Before Columbus. Oh, I told him about Stolen Legacy. When I told him about Stolen Legacy, I said, man, you should go check that book out. I said, what did they teach you in geometry? I said, he was like, oh, about triangles and all that. I said, and what's the name of the theorem? I can't remember that theorem. Just playing dumb with him. He's like, oh, the Pythagorean theorem. Bingo. The Pythagorean theorem. Well, go ahead, and what I want you to do is go get this book, The Stolen Legacy, and I want you to research a little about our great Pythagoras. And he was like, no, just tell me a little bit. And I said, man, Pythagoras is the biggest thief in captivity. He studied in ancient Kemet for 22 years. And when Alexander the Greek raided the library of Alexander in ancient Kemet, he kept the books, gave them to Pythagoras, and said, here, now you can do what you want to do. Now you can name everything. That's why we have all these great philosophers like Aristotle and Socrates and Plato, which they all got it from us. So they took the shit, remixed it, passed it down to generations, and then want to reteach us like Aristotle is the enlightened one. Man, get the fuck out, man. Fuck a Aristotle, fuck a Socrates, fuck all those motherfuckers. They're thieves, all of them. And how dare you put this motherfucker in a theorem when it don't take documented history to know that how could they come up with triangles and hypotenuses and all that when all we gotta do is just take a look at the pyramid. If we look at the pyramid, we should know they did. How could you build a pyramid without not knowing math? I don't need to go see the pyramid to know. Just look at the pyramid. Look at how they talk about it. Look at the pictures. If you look at the pictures of the pyramid in the Sphinx, you should know, well, who the fuck was building this shit? They had to know some ancient shit. And it wasn't no goddamn Pythagoras. So that should tell you. But we so entranced in whatever the narrative is that they gave us that we don't even want to believe nothing else. That's why even today, look at the money. How you gonna have a pyramid on the dollar, which is an African belief system, and then have a white man next to it? Ain't nobody thought about that? And all the symbolisms behind it, and the 13 colonies, and the number 13, all this other shit, that's Freemasonry shit. Stop. And you like, well, yeah, well, I see what you're saying. Okay, all right, then fine. You see what I'm saying? Then why is it that, how did Pythagoras, I told him, I said, okay, well, let's just eliminate everything I just told you. But let me just tell you one thing. How could Pythagoras come up with liberal arts, which would be math, science, astrology, all that other stuff, when that was outlawed in Europe? That was outlawed, especially in Greece. That was outlawed there. They didn't want no other deities and no math, no science. They didn't want none of that there. So how could he learn that? He had to go to ancient Kemet. You know, because they want to call it Egypt, you know, to kind of separate it like it's not in Africa. Like when I was watching this show on I was watching this show called Remy on Hulu, and he's an Egyptian Muslim in Jersey. So it's funny you know, how his family kind of, not his mom and his dad, they kind of participate in anti-black racism, and his uncle, very, very anti-black racist. Just, oh, I don't trust the blacks. But one of the sisters on there was like, and I don't trust Arabs. But the thing about it is when Rami went back to Egypt, his cousin was like, man, what's happening, my nigga? And he was like, dude, you need to stop using the N-word, man. That's racist. He said, fool, we black. And he was like, bro, he was like, Egypt is in Africa, fool. We black. What do you mean, bro? He's like, dude, you're tripping. And he was like, dude, you just really shouldn't use that because that's racist. And he's like, bro, we're in Africa. But that's how they got you. They got you thinking that Egypt is not in Africa. And that's what Caucasians, the dominant society, want you to think. They want you to think that they built those pyramids so bad, it's almost sickening how much they want black folk to believe that they built the pyramids. Man, that's why we got to come into knowledge of who we are and ourselves and understand what the fuck is going on. And even in knowing what's going on, challenge people. I'm talking about not at the corn plantation, outside the corn plantation. Challenge people. Because what DeSean Jackson did was, he just re-solidified what I was already saying. They $40 million slaves. They don't want us being associated with the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Why would they want you being associated with him? Tell me, why? Why would they? Warren, why would they? They don't want you being associated with the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan because of the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad and Malcolm X. And why would they want that? And Master Farrar, why would they want that? People don't even know Master Farrar Muhammad was mixed. He's white too. He's white and black. I think his mom was white. But I digress from that. They don't want, nope. That's why you got to give Q props. Q was the only nigga that was like, I stand with Farrakhan, and this is what it is, and I don't give a fuck, and fuck y'all niggas. But watch people, oh man, they gonna cancel Q. Telling you, man, do the research, the history, do your research, understand what's going on. Listen to people when they get to talking. I was at the court plantation, it was somebody that was playing this thing about how, oh, well, why are black people getting the national anthem and why are they doing all this other stuff? He was a Caucasian man. And he was like, I just think it's ridiculous. And I said, maybe it is ridiculous. And I just looked at him. You know why? Because this particular individual, I know he's a dummy. I know this person was a dummy. And I'm like, I'm not even going to intellectually lower my standards to prove a point to a dominant society Caucasian motherfucker that probably ain't read since he was in high school. So that's why a lot of times you gotta just look at these people and be like, man, whatever, man, do your thing. You know what I mean? I just think it's more purposeful when we are in debates with certain people and you just put the knowledge out there and go on about your way. You don't have to try to change somebody's belief system because they're not gonna change in no way. A lot of people just want to argue with you just to argue with no point in mind. Like this white supremacist was arguing with me on Twitter. But he ain't said nothing yet because somebody else jumped in there, and the other person that jumped in there was basically like, dude, you sound dumb as fuck, and you just one of those motherfuckers that you playing games. And then eventually, he just never responded. And I was laughing. The reason why I was laughing because I thought it was funny. Let me see what this brother said. Let me see when he jumped in, because he jumped in and he started going in. He jumped in and he was like, next time you might want to stay out of a grown folks conversation. And then he said, hey, don't feed the trolls, guys. And for you, as Seth Winter, I am not teaching you 3 centuries of information for free. Get your library up. Reading is fundamental. Because I kept saying reading is fundamental. And then after that, no response. I was dying laughing. This person, they got like 1,000 followers. But I guess they probably was watching me go back and forth with them the whole time. I'll be on Twitter going in on their asses. Now I gotta really watch what I say, cause shit, I called somebody a Sambora coon. Them motherfuckers took my Twitter. Because I was getting, motherfuckers was following me. But that's okay, though, because I'm back up to like 70, 80 followers. Only had that shit for like a month. And I had Twitter for like 8 years. And as long as I was talking about fuck a bitch and all this other shit and putting fuckery ass videos up, shit, they didn't give a fuck about that shit. But as soon as you start calling out anti-black racism and racism, white supremacy, and them first, and talk about reparations and what is owed to us for black labor for free, oh shit, hell no, we gotta take your shit. That's why when you get into any type of conversation with people, the first thing you need to listen to them first. I just kind of listen. You learn a lot from a person. So you listen and just see where their head is at. And then as you listen, try to absorb as much as you can. And then that's when you give your response. But a lot of times when you're dealing with people, they want to get you all hyped and upset. No, what you do is when they give you a response, you just go out of your way to let them know that, hey, I'm not trying to change how you feel and how you believe. You should stick to that. But this is my position and my perspective, because it's all about perspective. Because if you don't say that first, they think you're trying to beat them down. Because I think that's what debate means, etymology anyway. It means to beat down, if I'm not mistaken. So you don't want to do that. You just give your perspective and go about your way. And when you have that type of class and tact about yourself, it bothers them more because you're not going out of your way to be like, no, I don't do that. When a person tries to present something, like a Jewish person be like, well, that's anti-Semitic. And I'd be like, well, how's that anti-Semitic when the original Jews, from my belief system, were black? So how's that work? How does that work? Well, no, because, okay, well, can you give me some books to read? Because I love to read them. Because the books that I have says that the original Jewish person is black. So I would love to read them. And I'm not trying to change how you feel. That's how you come at people. And then eventually what they do is that either makes them go get a book to read it to try to prove you wrong, or they just back away. And then they'll name call. Because once you start talking about books, the first thing the dominant society goes to is name call. Because they don't expect black people to read a book. You know what they expect you to do? Be on your phone, watch TV, chill. Don't try to grasp any type of concepts or any type of knowledge. None of that. They just want you to be in a fucking time warp and just be in the matrix. Why do you think all these social media platforms are so popular? Because that's what they want your focus to be on. They don't want your focus to be on, okay, let me educate myself as I'm on these social media platforms. You know what I mean? Like I said, all these people that's talking about hold the vote, leverage the vote, they got that from Dr. Claude Anderson. They got that from him. They just won't give him the credit. Because Dr. Claude Anderson is for black folk. So he's going to call out racism. He's going to call out how the lack of resources and all that. And that's what it's about. Resources, which we don't own. That's why when a person comes to you talking about, well, that's racist. Black people can't be racist. Why? And they're going to be like, well, why? That's not. Well, racism is a competition of resources as well. You can oppress a certain group of people with those resources. And since we don't own any resources, how can black folks oppress anyone? Oh, well, they call me cracker. Okay, well, that's name calling. That's not racism. Racism is if I can get you removed from your job. If I can use my privilege to get you out of a job. And I can't use blackness to get you out of a job. I can't. Because I don't own or control anything. So you gotta start breaking this shit down. When you start saying that, look, one person was going back and forth with me. This was like 6 months ago. And let me tell you what this white boy did. He was like, oh, let me guess. Black people are not racist because they don't own anything. He knew before I even had a chance to respond. He knew because most Caucasians are fully aware how racism works and how it benefits them. And don't ever fucking forget. I appreciate y'all listening, subscribing. Hey man, the shit gonna grow. Shout out to everybody that's been listening. Like I said, I just finished the book, Medici Money. Very, very good book. Now I'm about to read the book about Alessandro de Medici. He was a mulatto. So I'm about to read that. And then I'm gonna work my way back into some of our history as well. So I appreciate everybody listening, subscribing. Hey man, I'm gonna hit y'all up same time, probably Thursday, maybe tomorrow, maybe Thursday. But most likely probably Thursday. I'm going to try to do Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. I'm gonna try to do 3 a week. So that's the thing, man. Y'all got any topics, anything, hit me up on the email. Let me know, hey, man, well, I want you to talk about this. All right, email me, and then I'll check the email before, and then I'll talk about it. Hey, man, any books y'all got, let me know. Like I said, I got to order some more books as well, but I got other shit I got to pay for. These books is expensive as fuck. The Dr. Claude Anderson book ain't $500 no more. Now it's down to like 60 or 50. But that shit definitely ain't out of stock on Amazon, though. You got to get it from a private vendor. Hey, man, I appreciate all y'all. If you see a nigga out there talking about all lives matter, guilty nigga, he's a Sambo. I'm out. Peace.
Shoot you.